Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's Mary Jane, and let's talk about Growing Up Hip Hop Season 4, Episode 11. OMG. Egypt about to tie the knot. She's about to get married to Sam because she want to be considered an adult. She want to be looked at as a grown woman. Like, whoa, that's what we do that at? You get married so you can be considered as an adult? Like, come on, you just stand your ground. Like, this is my man, and I'm with him. And thank you for your opinions and your concerns, but I'm going to do the things that I want to do. And mommy, if you can't be my manager or you respect me, then, I'm moving on, and Sam is going to be my manager, and step out on your own 2 feet with your own coin and your own financial decisions and move up out of that nice townhouse, that nice house Pep got you in, and Sam return that, that Uber car, because we know he ain't using that car for Uber. I was like, oh no. And then we have Romeo. He's sitting there letting TT know that, he had a little thing for Angela, but really his crush, the woman he got a feeling for, is Vanessa. Well, he thinks he has a crush on Vanessa, and Vanessa is actually the one that he liked the most. That's the one he liked first. I was like, OMG. So what does that leave TT at? Like, she's out in the doghouse. Like, she felt real, like, depleted. She felt like, oh, he don't want me, baby. And then we have Bree. Bree actually opens up and tell Boogie that she likes him, and he was like, oh, never, I would never date Bree. She's like my sister. That's a nice way to say, hey, I ain't interested. And plus, Bree, why are you interested? Don't you got a man? And, something on the side. So what's going on with that situation? Pep was totally intoxicated half of the episode, but Pep is living her best life. But, if she was actually to treat Egypt like she treat Tyran, then maybe Egypt wouldn't be trying to run from her. She spoiled her so much and treated her like a kid and a baby, and she wouldn't do that to Tyran. And even Pep wouldn't even let Egypt read her book because she thinks she wasn't adult enough to as well. So Egypt is trying to be her. She's trying to live her best life and get her a husband and some babies and be a stepmama. She's trying to be a stepmama at 19, son. Are you kidding me, Egypt? What's really going on? But the more you push your daughter or your son away from whoever their partner is, the more they cling to them until it's too late. And you just got to hope that they don't get strung out on drugs, they don't have 1,000 kids, their credit don't go bad, and they're still sane after that relationship. Because sometimes people don't recover from bad relationships. I'm just like, whoa, we got Kristinia. She done mixed up with Bree. Seems like she was kind of scared of Bree. I thought she was going to lay hands on Bree, but at least Bree, did her thing, and now they're friends again. So I was just like, what's really going on? So let's start off. Pep is talking to Egypt, and she was like, I don't like the way Sam is doing, the way things that he's doing, the album, like, you're not really on the, the record, you're not really on it, you're singing a hook. And then on top of that, he's calling shots at the photo shoot. He's not a photographer, he didn't go to school for that shit, he don't know. Just because you don't go to school doesn't mean you can't be good at something, because I have tons of people around me that are good in everything. They're good in better than people with PhDs when it comes to it. So it just doesn't mean that. But Sam thinks just because he posts pictures on Instagram, he knows how to direct a photo shoot. And Sam took his weave out this episode, then he put it back in. He got his finger. I don't know if he's down with A1 and his fingernails are black too. And then he goes, Pepper's like, I know what I'm doing. I've been in this business for 32 years. I know what a photo shoot looks like. I know what this look like. I know what that. I have experience. Egypt said in the back of her mind, Sam got experience too. He's older than me too. So both of these guys got more experience than me. But I'm living my best life with Sam. So Egypt is like, well, he paid for studio time. And she was like, well, he don't pay rent. He don't got a job. His job is to make sure Egypt is doing right. And so she was like, Egypt was like, well, Sam is not that type of person. He don't really say anything. When he feels like something's wrong, something looks bad, something's not right, that's when he usually say anything, because he wants the best for me. And Pepper's like, what you mean? I don't want the best for you? What are you talking about? Pepper's just totally really not hearing what she's trying to say. And because she feels like, what, you've been under my wing for so long, Egypt, you really don't have a voice or opinion. And we know Tyran and TT said that too as well. But, I believe that Pep thinks that, okay, my daughter's not acting like this. She ain't going wild out on me. She ain't going to just choose this man over me. She just ain't going to just let him be her be all and end all. And he ain't her manager. And what's her name, Egypt, she feels like Sam could be her manager. Well, let him be your manager. Just cut all ties. Then let's see where your career goes from there. Sam can't do nothing for his career right now. His career is hanging on to you, Egypt. His career is on this show and meeting all the wonderful people he can meet and try to link up with and promote his music, promote that he is, in film. He can say that he's an actor now. He act on a TV show, especially that this show can go on his resume. So, Egypt just feels like Pep is judging her relationship, and she doesn't trust her. So Pep should have took heed to what Troy was trying to tell her. When Troy was trying to tell her that, the situation between Egypt and Sam is not all that great. It's not all that good. Like, yo, Pep, he's controlling. He got these different women. He tries to get women pregnant and all this other stuff. And, Pep just, Troy dismissed him. He ain't even on the show. Her hairstylist. So now she's seeing what Troy was saying. Now she's feeling Troy. Now she's like, oh my God. My daughter is transforming right in front of my eyes. Like, you told her, you said that she was smart, she can make the right decisions, she's her own woman, but you didn't know that Sam was going to lay that dang-a-lang. He was going to do that tongue play, that tongue action. So you got that going on, and then you living with somebody at the same time and they're pillow talking. And I'm pretty sure they talked about marriage before. That's why he was so eager to get married. And then after like 2 months, he got a tattoo. After 2 months, they living together. You give him a car. So you co-sign this bullshit. You co-sign this relationship. You wanted to live in your own palace by yourself. Put your daughter out while you live your best life in these streets looking all good. Traveling, going coast to coast. You traveling jets? I'm like, damn, Pep got a private jet. Like, she's living the best life. And so with that situation, so it's just like, Egypt was like, I don't want to talk anymore. I got a headache. And she walks off and she leaves. And Pep, at that moment, Pep realized that she had no more control over Egypt. That man has control over her right now. It's going down. Pep was like, I'm the manager. I'm the momager. Pep is feeling some type of way. But Egypt was like, I just don't want you to judge me. You judge everything. So, Egypt was like, I'm 19 years old. I'm grown. I know. I want to live my own life. Or if you want to live your own life, pay your own bills. Straight up. And so we get Boogie and Kristinia. They meet up. They're in Vegas because, Boogie actually lives in Vegas. And remember, Boogie lives on top of a bar. He's an alcoholic and he lives on top of a bar. So he's back in Vegas. He's chilling. He's with Kristinia. They have a conversation. They're talking about Bree and actually mending their friendship and their relationship and getting things back together, getting everything on task and everything on hand. And Kristinia asks Boogie about, the relationship between him and his father. He was like, my father's a trigger. I haven't talked to him because, he has to think with his father. Him and his father are not getting along right now with the situation, and he just needs time apart from his father after he threw all that money in that rehab. And now Boogie's gonna ignore him and don't want nothing to do with his father. So then on top of that, Boogie asks about, the situation between Kristinia and Bree, especially at the intervention, them going off. Kristinia, she totally apologized. She said she's sorry because that moment was about Boogie and not, her and Bree's situation. And then on top of that, she's actually thinking about calling Bree to invite her to the Vegas party because, she wants Bree to come. She wants to stop the beef, And so we'll see what happens with that situation. And then moving on from that, and then you get Angela. Angela, she meets up with her life coach, and she's ready to do her thing. She's ready for a relationship. She wants to move forward. She wants to have a man. She wants to be with somebody. She wants love now. She wants, this apartment and everything that she has remind her of her past, relationship with her baby daddy, and she just wants to move forward, and she's ready for a relationship because her heart is telling her that she's ready, and she's ready. And she loved LA, and it was amazing out there in LA. It was the best thing ever. So we'll see what happens with that situation. And and so then we have Bree. They meet up, they talk and everything. And TT was like, so what's up with you and Boogie? Did you tell Boogie that you love him, that you want to be with him? And TT was like, Brie, are you gonna actually tell Boogie how you feel? Because are you just gonna be lusting and masturbating about him all night? Like, and so they throw food at each other, and like they kind of made up. You can see that Brie and TT are really cool. They like each other and having a good time. And so, they talk about Kristinia's party that's in Vegas and her working at a hotel. Then Brie throws shade and talk about, oh, why is she working in Vegas? Because she's broke? No, Brie, she's not broke. She's getting money in Vegas. That's what you do, get money. That's what she's doing. She's getting money. She's going to be on this show and she's going to be in Vegas getting that money, getting that cheddar. And if Brie could perform at a hotel in Vegas and get a contract like that, she would definitely fall up on that immediately, fast, in a hurry. And so... and then Brie calls, Kristinia, come on. Why are you being so real? Like, Kristinia didn't do nothing to you like that, to be calling her names like that. And then Brie talking about she don't know what she did to Kristinia. And then they show all the shit that Brie done did to Kristinia. It's like, they're calling you out, Brie. Straight up and down. So they have their little conversation. It's all good right now. And, so then we get, TT talks to, Pep before they leave. Pep is like, I got a villa. We're going to have a party. Me and Egypt ain't doing so well because, about this Sam situation. And TT was like, I ain't even going to talk about that. And so Pep asks, TT, what about that date you went out with Romeo? What did he eat a lot? I was like, oh no, Pep is just being, Pep is out there talking mad crazy. And so... they do their thing, so they're going to have a pre-party. And let me tell you, that villa that Pep rented was everything. You see that white on white, that pool? Like, Pep is living her best life. Like, she ain't playing. She got it going on. Pep got it going on. She ain't playing with the situation. And so everybody's invited. Everybody comes through. So the party's going to be, the little pre-party's not really like crazy or anything like that, so it's all right. So then Briana, she meets up with Boogie, and they talk about Dame Dash, the same old story. And so this is when Brie pops the question. She pops what she needs to say. She was like, I need to tell you something. I got a crush on you, Boogie. I kind of like you. And Boogie was like laughing and laughing. He was like, I'm not laughing at you. She was like, oh, I know why you're laughing, because you're nervous. And so he was like, in his confessional, no way, I would never date her. She's like my sister. And he was like, yo, listen, I'm going to be real with you. I don't want to mess up our friendship. I think our friendship will last longer than us, smushing and cooking and doing it. Wow. And so Brie feels a certain type of way. She's intoxicated as hell. Boogie's trying to say that he's not intoxicated. He's just using turn up as he's just having fun. Miss me with that bullshit, Boogie. You are definitely drinking. You are definitely doing pills. In my opinion, I could be wrong, and I hope I am. So, moving on from that situation, Brie done got dissed, TT done got dissed. I'm just like, what's going on? The women are getting dissed. Boogie was like, I would definitely not date her, definitely. And so we have Romeo. And so then after that, we get Romeo. He meets up with TT to have the conversation. And he basically just confessed that, excuse me, he basically just confessed that he really had a crush on. First he talked about Angela and how they got together and how he really liked her and they were friends, and that really made something special happen. That really made things pop off. And then he also says, but what the real secret is? I really had a crush on Vanessa. And it kind of insinuated like he still have a crush on Vanessa. And so the conversation just went dead, because even TT asked to hold Romeo's hand. So Romeo's trying to let TT off and in a nice and nasty way. I was just like, damn. And so moving on from that situation, TT, she walks back inside the villa. She's feeling a certain type of way. And then that's when, JoJo and Vanessa was like, what's going on, TT? What happened? Because they can see, like, there's something, the way that she walked in the room, she looked distressed. And then Romeo just bounced after that conversation. And TT spills the beans. She let, JoJo and Vanessa know that Romeo has a crush on her. And he's been crushing on her. And she's his he liked her initially first, and it's like a MILF thing, and she just like, oh, JoJo immediately texts Angela to tell her the tea, and then on top of that, JoJo was like, he's trying to go through my whole family tree. What's up with that? And so before then, we get Bree and Kristinia. They have a conversation. They kind of make up. Bree's just like, I don't know what happened. I'm so glad Bree was just open, not to be negative or anything like that. That she was willing and open to just squash the beef with Kristinia and let it be. And that's what she did. And she said sorry. We don't really hear Bree say sorry too much, but she said sorry. But we know Bree has issues, and Bree wouldn't be a good person for Boogie, because she's actually, she says that she likes to demasculate men, and so she's really hard around the edges, and she's very aggressive. And I don't think Boogie need that type of situation, because he's trying to move away from his father, because his father, kind of like demasculate his manhood by treating him like a child, calling him a drug addict, and act like he's no good or whatever. But Boogie did lie in this episode talking about he's back in Vegas, and he's got his old job back at the growing farm, the marijuana farm, the weed farm, or whatever. And Dame Dash told us previous that Boogie ain't never went there to work. He maybe worked one day, and that was it. So Boogie's trying to claim that he's working over there. Okay, Boogie, that's why we know you lying. And so we have that situation. And so, Kristinia and Bree, they talk, and she was like, I don't know what went wrong or whatever, how it went bad. Kristinia apologized, but Kristinia was smart too. She was smart with her words, and she just wanted to make up whether Bree was going to say sorry or not. She was going to make sure it was going to be, a good night, and it was actually going to mend wounds and heal defenses. So it happened and went down. Kristinia was kind of nervous because Bree was drinking. Bree could have went anyway with this situation, because she's, she can be unstable with her emotions. And if you watch my video I did on Bree, when she talks about her life in her childhood, you can understand why she's like the way she is. It's no excuse, because when you know better, you do better. And so, but sometimes it's hard to do better, especially if you have these built up traits that you need to throw away and build new traits. It's very hard for people to start over and actually change and become a new person. It's easier said than done. So moving on from that, so they're cool. They hugging each other. They hug it out. Everything's cool, dandy, fine. Everybody goes to, the club. They're doing their thing. Kristinia is about to perform. We don't see it. Kendall, she gets a text. But before then, we have, the whole time the party and everything was going on, Sam wasn't around. He wasn't in the atmosphere or anything, because he's feeling a certain type of way. But Sam did talk to, Tyran, and tell Tyran that, Pep doesn't see, Pep doesn't see things other people's way or anything like that. And Pep doesn't really like people getting a chance to talk. And Tyran was hoping that, this trip will be about him and Pep, chilling and hanging out. He really thought that, but it ain't gonna happen. And so, Tyran talks about, his childhood not being that good, being the son of a celebrity. So moving on from that, then we get back to the club. Kendall, she gets a text, because Egypt is talking to, her boyfriend, and he was just like, she's like, what, I'm going to get married. I'm going to show them I'm grown, I'm this, and I'm not going to make my own decision. And once I marry you, they can't tell me this, they can't tell me that. Like, come on. But before then, Egypt is kind of not too bright, because before then, she was like, she was telling TT, what, Sam does for me, he gives me studio time. It's like I was paying $4,000. I don't have to pay that anymore. And then on top of that, he writes songs for me. She was like, yeah, but he's gonna be credit on the song, so he's gonna get paid either way. So it's not like he's actually doing you a favor. And Egypt was like, well, in that case, it's like she don't even know anything. It just seems like Pep has really put her in an incubator and protected her for so long, and she threw her out there. Now she got a wolf, and the wolf ain't gonna let his grip go, girl. He that tongue and them arms are gonna be tight. They're gonna be like handcuffs. And so moving on from that, Egypt is talking to Sam, and letting him know that, let's get married. He's like, you serious? You really want to do this? And she was like, yeah. He showed us the tattoo. He got Egypt's name tattooed and the day that they met and all this other stuff. He's in ways deep because this is his opportunity. He ain't gonna let his opportunity walk away. And then on top of that, she's a beautiful girl. She don't have any children. She's wealthy. And then on top of that, she can open doors for him too as well. And then on top of that, she hasn't been used and abused, and she doesn't have too much experience, so he can mold her the way that he wants to, even though he ain't that old, but he got more experience than her. And so they head out to the chapel. What's her name? Egypt. She texts Kendall to come support her because Kendall got married and did the same damn thing, so she thinks she can do the same damn thing, which doesn't make no sense. And which tells you that Egypt is really immature and she really can't think of her own, because she had this conversation with Kendall. Oh, our relationship is going to be just the same. I can do it too. Kendall doesn't have the reputation and the money and the wealth and the prestige that your family has. Your father is Tretch, your mother is Pep, and you've been on this show and you have friends in Hollywood. And so it goes down, and she's at the altar. She got a dress on, like they got the white outfit. They got the outfit going. You see Sam back with his braids in, and then they're trying to tell Pep that, hey, listen, Egypt's about to get married. Kristinia brings her outside trying to talk to her. Pep doesn't know what's going on. She's lost. She's not elusive at all. She's not really comprehending. She thinks Kendall's lying. She's like, why would my daughter tell you anything, Kendall? Because Kendall agrees with her, because Kendall listens. Kendall's her friend. Kendall is the same thing Kendall did, Egypt wants to do. Like, Egypt wants people to support her in her decisions. And but you have to teach her, like, this is controlling. This is not good. This is a bad trait. Like, if she don't know these things, then how does she know that she's actually being controlled and she's in a bad relationship if she wasn't taught that? That's why it was very important for you to teach your book to her and tell her about bad relationship and teach her about men. And so hopefully Tyran, he gets his little karate kicks in on Sam, but Sam ain't the problem. Well, he is kind of the problem. So anyways, they get to the chapel and they rush. Pepper's in there, tore from the floor up. She didn't even worry about where Sam's at. She didn't even know that she didn't even know that Egypt was upset, giving her the side eye when, Kristinia came through and her cousin Kendall came through and sat outside and at her villa near the pool. She didn't have no idea what was going on with Egypt, and she didn't even really sit down and talk to Tyran, but it could be all edited that way and we not know. So it is what it is. And the whole clan from the party, from the club, they show up at the chapel, and then they stop the wedding. And Tyran was like, you really gonna do this without asking us? Not asking for her hand in marriage, which he's supposed to ask her hand in marriage from. He's supposed to ask Tretch. He's supposed to ask Pep, but he's trying to do his thing. And if Kendall was so supportive of Egypt getting married to Sam, she wouldn't have showed the text too as well. But Kendall was trying to cover herself too. And maybe Kendall was with her husband a lot longer than what Egypt was with Sam. Peace. I'm out. One love.